new Disney movie Snow White came out, and it's a complete dumpster fire. But did you know the OG story came out in 1812, written by two guys, and in 2005, a movie was made about how they got their stories, called The Brothers Grimm. And it's, well, hello my frightful friends, welcome back to my channel. Let me know down below what's your favorite fairy tale story. And with that, let's get into it, shall we? Once upon a time in 1796, a little girl is on the verge of meeting Jesus. So her mom sends this dumbass to go sell their cow to get some money for a doctor. But instead, he comes back with some beans because he believed the hobo on the side of the road who said they're magic, causing his brother to beat out whatever brain cells he has left. 15 years later, Dopey and Grumpy grow up and start a business helping people out with their fairy tale problems. They go to a town that's being harassed by a witch, but the only eyewitness is a drunk lunatic. However, the mayor wants this all to go away and pays the brothers to get rid of the bitch. Cut to a barn where they get ready to fight the witch, who shows up looking like a burnt marshmallow. Crosses get set on fire, the witch starts moonwalking on a wooden pillar while forcing the brothers to start pointing their weapons at each other. But Dopey breaks free and shoots her ass, causing her to turn into a bunch of snakes. The brothers get paid, and the lunatic runs into town to tell everyone the witch is gone. But surprise! This was an elaborate hoax. Basically, the brothers and their two helpers travel around and get money by putting on performances, pretending to get rid of whatever creature is terrorizing the town they're in. Meanwhile, Red Riding Hood is speed-walking right onto a milk carton, cause while collecting whatever the hell this plant is, a wolf starts attacking. She runs away and is about to make it back into town, but the wolf snatches her up while this guy wanders around with his hearing aids all the way down. What? Where are you? I'm right here. Where are you? Where are you? I'm right here. I'm literally right here. God damn it, bitch. Cut back to the brothers who get drunk. Dopey almost spills the beans on what they really do, and then some French soldiers walk in and ruin the vibes, but Grumpy does some sweet talking and the party goes on. He heads upstairs with some ladies, hoping to get his sword pulled out in these stone walls, while Dopey has a midlife crisis in the corner while this guy watches. So this next part is confusing, or maybe I'm dumber than a sack of onions, because the brothers and their buddies are captured by this creepy guy and brought to this French guy.
La resistance! Okay, you don't want any of that, okay? You don't want that to happen.
Who says you guys are con artists, and worst of all, y'all pulled a ditty because a bunch of kids in a town nearby are missing. The bros say, we didn't kidnap no kids, and the French guy agrees. Okay, so why accuse him in the first place? But then the French guy says he's hiring them to go and find out what happened to the missing kids, even though he knows they're frauds. Like, what the fuck? Where are the kids, you sexy thespians? We don't know! You lie! We're not! Oh, fuck it! You're hired! Cut to Hansel and Gretel, who are in first place to receive a Darwin Award, cause they go into the woods to try to find the missing kids, and accidentally split up. Gretel's Shaw pulls a poltergeist and starts floating around, and call me a hater, guys, but out of all the things in this movie that didn't need to be CGI, this is one of them.
A magic carpet. Come on out. We're not gonna hurt you.
So she follows the floating Shaw, some scary shit happens, and a guy shows up, and her ass is grass. Cut to the brothers who arrive at the town and say they're here to help, but get a lukewarm response until this girl runs up and says, you uncultured swines, these guys are famous, and will for sure find the missing children. Convinced, everyone goes into a church and starts telling the brothers about how they're all shitty parents. Grumpy asks if there's anyone who can take them into the woods and guide them, and that's when this old bat in the corner says a person named the Trapper. So the bro goes to their house and finds Cersei Lannister, who's forced to help them. So a French guy, a British woman, and two Americans walk into the forest to find the missing children. This isn't a joke, guys. Innocent lives are at stake here, for Christ's sakes! So Cersei takes the guys to one location, an old tower with a bunch of coffins around it, and no one opens them to maybe, I don't know, see if the kids are inside them. Instead, we get some backstory about the tower and Cersei's dad, who told her when she was a kid that long ago there was a queen who only cared about being beautiful, and on her wedding day, the plague came rolling in, and the queen said, "Oh hell no!" And built the tower to get away from all the crap happening down below, but the vain bitch forgot that the plague was carried by the winds and got sick. Also, Cersei's dad went into the woods one day and died by a pack of wolves. Allegedly. While hanging out, the trees start moving, and everyone agrees that's enough exploring for today. But before they get back to their horses, the weirdo in the woods from earlier feeds one of them some spiders. Cut back to the gang, and they say the way out is this way, but Cersei says nah, and then proceeds to violate a toad to find the right way out, because the forest can't be trusted. The bros think she's tricking them, but end up back at where they left their horses. They all ride back into town, and they say they'll go back in tomorrow, but Cersei says, good luck guys, I did my job showing you the forest, I ain't going back in, and I'm just going to say it. I don't think taking them to one area really counts, but to be fair, her two sisters are also missing, and these dopes will just slow her down. Later that night, we get a call back to the stories Cinderella and Snow White. Cut to this girl, who is not the girl from the beginning. I guess bowl cuts are just popular in this town. She gets out of bed and she hears the spider-eating horse freaking out. Tries to calm him down, but that's when some crazy shit hits the fan. Webs start coming out of the horse's mouth and the girl gets tangled in them. Then she gets swallowed by the horses, inspiring Jordan Peele's movie, Nope. The horse runs away, but Cersei chases after it. So do the brothers, Creepy Guy and his men. Cersei gets pushed off her horse, and then starts chasing a wolf. The brothers' horse gets bullied by the trees. One of the French goons gets shish kebab. The Creepy Guy, after also getting pushed off his horse, spends valuable time trying to find his hair, and stumbles on his other goon who looks like a half-eaten chicken wing. Cut back to Cersei, who looks into the wolf's CGI eyes, and they be looking real familiar, fam. But it runs away, and somehow the bros meet back up with her, and they all run out of the forest, and so does Mr. Creepy, who demands to know who the hell killed his men. And Pocahontas over here says it was that freaky-ass forest, but Mr. Creep ain't having it. Cut to the French captain, who's holding a fancy dinner party when Mr. Creepy barges in, saying that the brothers and Cersei killed his men, and they're in the dungeon. So the Creep says that the brothers plan to kill all of the captain's troops. Cersei is about to become a bowl of soup. The bros say that this is all a misunderstanding and will for sure find the kids, but all I'm focused on is this cute-ass kitten.
No, not the cat, not Cider!
The captain says he will give the bros one last chance, but if they flee, he will kill everybody trying to find them. And again, why the hell does this guy give a shit? Like, to be real for a sec, I watched this film 5 times to write this video script, and like, I have no idea what the motivation of this character is, okay? The bros head back into town with their 2 helpers. From the beginning, Grumpy tells them to stay close to their horses because he wants to make a run for it, but Dopey wants to help Cersei find her sisters. But Buzzkill over here starts beating his butt up, saying, what are you gonna do, huh? Give her some magic beans, huh, bitch? Huh? When Dopey leaves, Cersei says he was just trying to do the right thing. Unlike you. Grumpy sits down, and so does she, and they start talking, but Dopey walks in and thinks they're flirting, causing him to run into the woods. G and C follow, but the Creep holds her back because he's a douche canoe. When Grumpy meets up with Dopey, he catapults himself into a tower. But it was just a dummy. Grumpy starts fighting with Dopey, but he fights back saying,
"You're tacky and I hate you."
But most of all, he just wants his brother to believe in him. This speech changes Grumpy's mindset, and they decide that throwing a hook attached to a rope onto the tower's window would be the best way to get in, while their buddies run away due to the forest weirding them out. Cut back to Creepy and Cersei, who's tied up. Outside, the girl from the beginning goes to get some water. A raven falls into the well, she gets it out, and it resurrects itself. It starts flapping some poop onto her face, which erases her nose, eyes, mouth, but she will somehow hold her breath for a long-ass time. Some goop starts crawling out of the well. Cersei, noticing what's going on, knocks the creep out and runs outside to save the girl, while the goop creature, now with the girl's facial features, follows. Guns go off, these guys run away. Cersei gives the creep, who's now awake, the girl, but the goop creature manages to grab her and shoves her body into the gloop, and then turns into the gingerbread man. Girl? So the ginger fluid cookie runs away and jumps into the well. Cut back to the brothers, and Dopey manages to get into the tower, finding a spellbook, a crown, and the queen, who's on a bunch of beds like the story Princess and the Pea, and by the looks of it, she desperately needs to see a dermatologist. Outside, Grumpy, who wants to make sure they know the way out, also violates a toad. Weird. Or maybe not. But just then, the gingerbread person, now back to human, floats up from a nearby pond. Grumpy tries to grab her, but that's when the Wolfman comes around. He grabs the girl and puts her into a... Well, hold the phone. There was a bunch of coffins around it, and no one opens them to maybe, I don't know, see if the kids are inside them. Look, all I'm saying is that's the first place I would have looked. But fuck it. The Wolfman has a foot fetish, places a ring around the girl's toe, which causes glass slippers to appear. Back up in the tower, a raven gives the queen a magic bean that wakes her decrepit butt up. So I guess we owe Dopey an apology. Dopey runs towards what he thinks is the way out, but it's actually a mirror that shows the room not in ruins, and the queen young and beautiful, but it's just a magical illusion, and she starts flirting to distract him. Cut back to Grumpy, he opens the concrete coffin, grabs the girl, but Wolf Guy stops him. LOL, same, my dude, same. Grumpy starts calling out to Dopey, and I shit you not, he throws a stone all the way up through the tower's window and hits the goddamn mirror. Like, come on, guys. There's just no way in fairy tale hell anyone could do that, okay?
Your fantasies can't ever be quenched, can they?
So Dopey saves Grumpy by grabbing the queen's long Rapunzel-like hair and jumping out the window, falling on top of Wolfie. They grab the girl, run away, and discover the axe has the powers to stop the trees from hurting them. They ride back into town, but the girl doesn't wake up. The old bat in the corner says it's because the blood moon is tonight, and that the kidnapped children will die so that the queen can complete her spell. Dopey realizes that she wants to take the kid's beauty and that everyone needs to leave. But El Capitano rides in and tells the town that these two are liars and frauds, and he got a confession to back him up.
Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk!
AKA, our buddies are fucked. Mr. Creepy comes out with a tied up Cersei saying, oh, well, never mind. So the captain ties up the brothers to some ladders and throws Dopey's book onto the ground and starts a fire to burn down the forest, while the villagers protest because their kids are still in there. But he sends a few cannons flying, making sure their kidnapped babies turn into a big pile of ash. Cersei, who was tied up a minute ago, is somehow now free. Disguises herself as a wolf to get past the guards, unties the brothers, and the three of them head into the forest, only to be stopped by Wolfie, who turns out to be Cersei's daddy, and we find out the real backstory. He went into the woods and got lost, and the queen brought him up into the tower so that he would become her caretaker and change her ancient diapers, but also to help her become young and beautiful again. He's about to kill Cersei when the bros stop him, only for Dopey to help him by accidentally dropping her into a body of water. So Wolfie quickly throws a ring, which causes ice to form, and she's pulled away while her daddy bounces out. Dopey tells Grumpy that Cersei was the 12th girl completing what the queen needs to do the spell. Meanwhile, she wakes up, huffs and puffs, and blows that forest out. I mean, better late than never, but she really took her sweet ass time doing that. Wolfie seals up Cersei in a coffin, then flies up to Queenie and gives her a vial of all the kidnapped girls' blood. Back downstairs, the captain shows up, and damn man, what is your goal? He tells the creep to kill the bros, but hey, he's turned over a new leaf and says he wants to resign, so the cap shoots him. Then everyone starts fighting. Dopey throws the axe and it flies back around, killing this guy. Grumpy looks done for, but distracts Cap and shanks his ass, then pushes him down with some rock, which catapults Dopey into the tower. He starts attacking, but the queen ain't playing around, and pins him to a wall. Grumpy starts climbing while the queen starts getting turned up on some little girl blood. Grumpy tries to stop her, but also gets pinned, and then they start floating around, forced to fight each other due to the queen's powers. The spell works, and she's back to being young and beautiful. Grumpy tells Dopey to finish the story, sacrificing himself to stop them from fighting. Queenie starts taunting Dopey by making Grumpy wake up in the mirror, but in real life, he's dying while crawling towards her, and making sure she stays this way forever, she demotes Wolfie and makes Grumpy her new helper, and says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest bitch of them all?" But Dopey is done with her bullshit, and uses the axe to smash that shit up, boy, causing her to also crack and start breaking apart. Wolfie wakes up from his trance and grabs part of the mirror to finish the job, but Grumpy, whose mind is still warped, pushes him out the window, and they fall, causing Wolfie to die. As the tower starts breaking apart, Dopey hides between the stack of mattresses, while Creepy, who I guess didn't die and is now their bestie, starts placing a curse on the place. After the tower fully comes down, Creepy finds Dopey and takes him to Grumpy, who's not moving, but Creepy says true love's kiss will fix all of this. So Dopey goes to Cersei and gives her a kiss.
Wake up!
What?
And she wakes up, and so does the other girls, and they start running around, laughing like there's not a man dying in the corner. Dopey puts on some more chapstick for round 2, but Grumpy whispers, "Hell nah, not you." So Cersei steps up to the plate and gives him some mother-toe-tongue action. The town reunites with their kids, everyone starts dancing, Creepy gives Dopey back his book that he saved from the fire, more kissing, everyone celebrating, and the movie ends with everyone living a happily ever after. Or maybe not. Thank you all for checking out this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe. Have a good day or night. That's all. Goodbye.